Guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to cut and sew this beautiful dress. If you are new here, you are welcome. Please subscribe and remember the notification bell. In that way you'll be notified each time I upload a video. So I fold my material into two. I fold a triangle shape. So after folding a triangle shape, you can see that the material after folding is not equal to the down part. This is after folding into two. So I'm going to sew on the down part so to get the full measurement. So as you can see, after folding a triangle shape, I still need to sew on the down part to be equal with the other one. So I'm going to place my tape on the tip and I will measure 14 inches. Fourteen inches. This on the waist. This is the waist. So this is the measurement for the waist. I'm going to cut here. So I will remove half length from the tape and start from just like this. After removing half length, I will measure 60 inches plus sewing allowance. Still remove half length from the tape and measure from the waist. After removing half length from the waist, I will measure 60 inches plus sewing allowance. After doing that, I will cut. So I'm going to sew extra here. This is the waist. So I'm going to cut the back. I fold a triangle shape and I mark 2 inches on the back for zip. After finish the marking, I will place the one I just cut on top and cut exactly the same way I cut the front. The only difference between the front and the back is just the zip allowance. So I'm going to sew here extra. This is how it looks like. So I'm going to cut the half length now. So I'm going to sew lace on top. I fold into two. So I measure half length. I measure from shoulder down 10.5 inches. This bust, I measure bust and I measure waist. So I'm going to cut this, the armhole, the bust and waist. I measure 4.5 inches to sew that. So I'm going to sew this lace on top with lining. So this bias, the one I will use in turning the neck line. So this for the back, I measure 2 inches for zip and I place the one I just cut on top. So this is the lace for the back. I'm going to cut the same way. I measure shoulder. and this is the armhole. So this is the one for the front, the lace I place on top. I'm going to use it to cut the back neckline. So I'm going to cut the lining now. Before I cut the lining, I'm going to first cut the one to sew on the down part, the one I just started with. So I'm going to cut 2 pieces of it. So I'm going to sew this way. I'm done sewing. This is how it looks like, just like this. This is how it looks like after sewing. This is the back. I'm going to sew the back and leave about 8 to 10 inches on the back for zip. So I leave this place open. This is the back. I'm done sewing. So this is for the lining. I cut the lining. So I'm going to start to sew now. So I'm going to place the lace on top like this, and the lining on top the lace. The lace is in between the lining and the main material. I'll sew this way. I'm done sewing. This is how it looks like. So I'm going to sew that. This is how I fold to sew that. I will do the same on the back. This is the lining for the down part. So I'm done sewing that. I'm going to sew the shoulder now. After finish sewing the shoulder, I will use the bias to hem on the neckline. I'm going to place this way from the back. I will sew from the back. After sewing, I will bring the bias to the front and stitch down. I'm going to first iron. After finish ironing, I will stitch the bias to the front, to the right side. I'm done sewing. I'm going to iron. After finish ironing, I will sew the 2 sides. This is how it looks like on the neckline. I will measure bust and waist and sew. So I'm going to cut the sleeve now by using the lace and the material. So I fold into 2 and I will fold again to give me into 4. This is into 2. I will fold again to give me into 4. So I measure for the length of the sleeve and add 1.5 inch to hem. This is for the round sleeve. After I finish the marking, I will cut. I will measure 3 inches from the round sleeve up, 3 inches. I'm going to sew the main material from the 3 inches. I will iron here. I will do the same on the second sleeve. So this is how it is. You can see the line. I'm going to sew gather on it, or you can make pleats. I'm going to make gather here and sew on where I mark. I measure 6 inches by 26 inches. So I'm done sewing on the 3 inches I measure on the sleeve. I'm done sewing on the 3 inches. I will bring this way and iron. So after ironing, I will draw the gather to fit on the sleeve, and I will fold this way and stitch on the sleeve. I will stitch down on the sleeve. After doing that, I will fold into 2 and measure round sleeve and sew. I will do the same on this other sleeve. So I'm done sewing the sleeve on the armhole. This is how the sleeve looks like. So I'm going to sew the second sleeve now. I'm done sewing one sleeve on the armhole. I'm going to sew the second sleeve just like this. I'm done sewing on this side. After finish sewing the sleeve on the armhole, I will sew the down part on the waist. So I'm going to first sew the down part, the front and the back together. I will measure waist and I will sew down just the waist and the lining. So I'm done sewing on the waist, the down part and the top. This is the zip to sew on the back and the lining. I will sew the lining to cover up the rough edge. So I will iron the down part. So I'm done sewing the lining, the down lining on it. This is how it is on the back. So this is how it is. So after sewing to cover up the rough edge, so it turns out this way, neat. You can't see the rough part anymore. This is the back and this is the front. I'm done sewing, guys. I'm done sewing zip. This is how it looks like. If you like this video, guys, please give it a thumbs up and share this video. If you are new here, please subscribe and remember the notification bell. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much. If you have any question, please let me know in the comment section. Thank you. Bye.